The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Thank you everyone for joining us today. This is Amandeep, your moderator for this discussion. I lead the industry initiative at NASSCOM Pune and welcome you all for today's discussion on behalf of my team. Today's session is a curated Ask Me Anything, where we had requested you to submit your queries in advance, which would be addressed in the webinar today. In the unprecedented global crisis, B2B sales have definitely taken a hit. This requires to focus on empathy and offer solutions while being consultative. While this is just an overview, there is more to look into it. And to share some expert insights, we have with us a renowned author and one of the most sorted out sales expert, Mr. Amit Agarwal, SVP Sales Manthan, with us today. In a nutshell, let me tell you 3 interesting facts about Amit. So Amit is the author of the book, The Ultimate Sales Accelerator. The book has been sold in 23 countries across Bootstrap Series A, B, C, D startups. And he has also coined the term salespreneur and created a new sales strategy, use case selling, which is widely popular. So we are very thankful to Amit for his time and for joining us today. For the session, we have received multiple queries from you and tried our best to include them in our discussion. If you have missed submit your query earlier, you have an option to submit in the questions panel, which is available on the user interface. So you can submit it now or while the discussion is ongoing, and we will ensure to answer them at the end of the presentation. To make it easy for the speaker to address your queries, please be as elaborative as possible while you list your queries. There's an option on your screen to raise hands as well as chat. If you're facing any technical issues, you're not able to hear us or the presentation is not visible, you may either raise your hands or you may use the chat button and the team will get in touch with you. In the middle of the session, there will be polls launched, which will be visible on your screen. Please do share your inputs to help deliver better. Also, since we all are on work from home, there might be some lag due to internet connectivity issues. So request your support to stay with us. I would now give presentation rights to Amit and request you to take it ahead from here.
Okay. Thank you, Amandeep, and thanks to all of you for joining the call. Can you hear me properly? If yes, just please type yes in the chat window. Just type yes.
Yes, they can hear you.
Okay. Oh, I can't see the chat window.
They have posted on the questions panel. If someone has posted on chat, you may see at your.
Okay. If you could please use the chat window, because during the discussions we'll be using it quite often. Just please type yes or no, why or no. Can you hear me? If yes, yes. Why? Looks like I assume that people can hear me because I don't see the message. Can you double check, Amandeep?
Yes. I'm receiving their queries. They can hear you.
Okay, excellent. Okay, so Amandeep, let's start with the poll. And the question is, which area in sales is of most interest to you in current times? So please start with the poll, Amandeep.
Okay, so we are starting with the first poll, and the window will be shown on your screen. So do help us with your inputs, and the window will be visible for 30 seconds. The poll is now launched. So Amit, we have the results with us.
Okay, please share with all.
37.
Sorry?
Sure. 37%. Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can now. Yeah.
Yes. So 37% have voted for the top of the funnel, engaging projects.
Okay.
30% have voted for tools or techniques for virtual selling.
Okay, 30%. Yeah. For virtual selling. Yeah.
And yes, 18% for closure.
Okay.
And 8% for mid-funnel, moving deals in the mid-funnel.
Okay.
And we have 7% for empathy.
How much percent?
7% for empathy.
Interesting. Very nice. So I'll repeat. Top of the funnel 37%, mid funnel 8%, closure 18%, empathy 7%, virtual selling is 30%. So thanks for sharing your thoughts. Now, what, as Amandeep mentioned, that we received questions across these categories, 5 categories, and we will be taking each one of them one by one. So we will be covering this. Now, typically, this is actually 3-day seminar. We are planning to cover this in next 45 minutes to 50 minutes. So would be very interesting. So let's take the first one, which is the top of the funnel, which is lead generation. So these are some of the questions which we received. I will pause for a moment. I will let you read some of the questions. Kindly read them, and then I'll move forward. Okay, so what we are doing now is I have divided them into 2 areas. So first we will cover this area which you see in the table in the box, and then we'll cover the next area. So the first area is primarily about how can we do effective lead generation. So for that, what I have done is that from the book, The Ultimate Sales Accelerator, I have taken the framework most few, none. What does it mean? It will answer the following question: which B2B lead generation activities most organizations are using? Which B2B lead generation activities few organizations are using? Which B2B lead generation activities very few organizations are using? Are you clear with the structure? If yes, please type Y. Are you clear with the structure? Please type Y in the chat or.
Yes, Amit. We have received multiple yes.
Okay. Yeah, sorry, I'm not seeing that. Okay, so now if you see this, in the most areas, I have classified into 4 categories: database preparation, channels of engagement, new age tools and concept, and events. Correct? So if you look at it, these are the areas which most of the organizations are doing. They are doing DV preparation either in-house or through an agency. For channels, they are doing outbound cold calling, website lead forms, or email campaigns. For new age tools concepts, I have seen most of the companies have started using some email tool, which is finding emails online. Lusha is one of them. And of course, physical events, which is currently not possible. Correct? So these are the things which most organizations are doing. Do you agree, disagree? Is there anything missing? This is the part of most. If there is any pointer, please type, and Amandeep will let me know. Now I'll move to the few ones. So this is the one which lead generation activities few are doing. So database procured externally via companies like discover.org or ZoomInfo. These are established companies for the database world. Okay. In the channels front, are they running paid LinkedIn campaigns? Paid LinkedIn campaigns requires spends. So this is something which is not quite common. Social selling, everybody says they are social selling. However, the adoption of real social selling is very, very low. Only few are doing. ABM, this is such sought after skill. However, the adoption is very, very low, where you specifically target individual accounts rather than segments. And then physical events, self-curated. So in this case, these were attending somebody else's events. In this case, physical events which a company, let's say your company, is creating itself. Of course, right now this is also not possible. So this is in the few category. Now let me go to the very few or none. Because see, 37% of you folks voted for lead generation or top of the funnel. So this is a very important section. Please feel free to ask anything. So in the very few, which strategies very few companies are doing, the first is DB refresh and sync up with LinkedIn. So what is the need for procuring databases? I don't understand. Nowadays days, most of the buyers are available, B2B buyers are available on LinkedIn. So if the refresh is made through LinkedIn and it is frequency is constant, whether it is monthly, that will solve the problem. Similarly, this one, which is automating connections on LinkedIn. So right now, you and I, we have to send manual requests for connections on LinkedIn, whereas there are tools now. There are tools like DuckSoup. There are tools which can automate connections on LinkedIn, correct? Similarly, the channels part, so now you can run campaigns on LinkedIn rather than sending one-to-one messages, which takes time. Suppose you have to send around 150 messages to 150 contacts. You have to send one by one, which is time taking, correct? So in that case, you can use tools like DuckSoup. Several other tools are there which are doing LinkedIn automation, correct? Where you can run campaigns similar to emails, what you were doing here on LinkedIn. Productivity increases. Video for prospecting. This is quite relevant in current times. Also, it was always relevant when you can't meet people. If you use tools like Loom, Vidyard, which record video, where you can record video and you can share it with your prospects, and you can also check whether the prospect has clicked on it, till what time the prospect has seen. So these are the tools in this category. And of course, online events like the one which we are having right now. So similarly, master classes, webinars, instead of these two events are not possible. So organizations can have this. Now, this is a summary of most few none, in lead generation. Right? If you have to pick one, I am a big proponent of one thing, right? Which means the less we focus, the better it is, So if you have to pick one item among these, only one item which would be of help to you, which one would you pick? Please type it in the box, and Amandeep will share it with me. Just please type it in the box. One item which would be of help to you. You can choose many later. Right now, just pick one, because when you choose, it goes in.
So, Amit, we have a maximum for ABM.
Okay, excellent. Thank you.
That is followed by LinkedIn and cold calling.
Okay, excellent. So thank you very much. Now let me move to the other part. So remember, we had two. One, the second is how can we make communication simple and non-technical while engaging with prospects, correct? So let's look at this. So have you heard of word metaphor, correct? I mean, we are using metaphors all the time. So a father is telling her daughter, you are my sunshine, correct? Even a lover can tell her other lover, you are my sunshine, correct? Don't fight like cats and dogs. A mother is telling her two sons, correct? And then let's crush it, guys. This you must be very familiar with. This is the one which the sales heads or anybody CEO says, crush it, guys. What are we crushing? We are crushing the targets, correct? Goals. Now let's look at these metaphors. If you look at it, what is happening in metaphor, it makes the communication simple. So the love of the father is communicated by an object called sunshine. So love is compared to sunshine. Fight is compared to cats and dogs, correct? The targets is compared to crushing it. So metaphors is actually about equating two dissimilar objects. Just remember this. Metaphor is about equating these two dissimilar objects. It is very powerful. You will see now sales examples. So this is an example of, in sales, a client is unhappy with the current software because it is overpriced and difficult to implement. So this is a real situation. I met somebody in Mumbai, and I was meeting him for the first time, and I said, I heard you have this wonderful company as the incumbent software. It's a wonderful company. What is your experience with it? So this is what the client said. Meeting first time, Amit, it's like driving a Ferrari in the narrow lanes of Mumbai. Actually, he used the word SV road of Mumbai. So, you can see the pain of the customer. One is Ferrari, means it is very overpriced, correct? Narrow lanes of Mumbai means even if it is Ferrari, I can't even drive it. That means implementation is not there, correct? So imagine I was meeting the customer for the first time. I could sense the opportunity. So this is the power of metaphor. And again, as I said, two things. Situation is this. Comparison symbol. You have to pick comparison symbol always while creating metaphors. So in this case, the customer chose Ferrari in narrow lanes of Mumbai. Let me give another example. So this you try. Again, you will have to try it quickly because we have less time, which is situation 2. Again, real life example. You are in a meeting with a client in Middle East. The client is satisfied with the quality but feels the software is overpriced. Okay? Is the situation clear? So this is actually, it happened in Kuwait. Meeting a Kuwait client is satisfied with the quality of software but feels the software is overpriced. This is situation. Now, if you have to quickly create a comparison symbol, what would you choose? If just try it, just type it in your Windows. I'll wait for a moment. What could be a metaphor you can use here? If you were a salesperson, what would you do? No answer is right or wrong. I would encourage you to please, when you participate, it will deepen your knowledge. Yeah, that's the idea. Please, whatever you feel, please write. Amandeep, let me know.
Sure.
I think this, if you are not writing, I can understand this might be a little difficult in the beginning. So let me give you the response. So the comparison symbol was this. The answer I gave was our software is like Mercedes-Benz at the price of Toyota Corolla. So what happens when these pictures were not shown to him. But what metaphor does is that it creates a mental picture, and picture sells. Correct? When you say our software is like Mercedes-Benz at the price of Toyota Corolla, this is the most powerful story you can ever make. It is the shortest story metaphor. So can you get the drift behind it? I mean, if you could see the power behind this, just type yes. If you want me to explain this further, say more, please type it, either yes or more.
Yes, so we have started receiving the inputs. We have more inputs coming for more, specifically more.
Okay, excellent. So see, basically, like, let me give you a simple example. Amitabh Bachchan. So if you have to, I always tell my team or others, are you Amitabh Bachchan of your craft? So meaning what? Amitabh Bachchan is a legend. Longevity comes into picture, 76 years or something around. Energy levels are so high. Outstanding success in all forms of area. So when you say you are Amitabh Bachchan of this craft, automatically that thought comes into picture. So the metaphor makes if I say, no, you have to work hard, you have to be diligent, you have to play a long race. So many sentences I have to use. I can just say, you can, are you Amitabh Bachchan of your craft, or are you Warren Buffett of your craft? Correct. Similarly, here Mercedes Benz, which is priced at, let's say, 40 lakhs, and Toyota Corolla, which is priced at around 16 lakhs. Correct. So this if you start using metaphor, correct, you will see that your communication will become simple, and it will specifically help you in the current times when you can't meet people physically. So with that, I will move to the second area, which is the questions on tools and techniques for virtual selling. By the way, what is interesting is, guys, I didn't do this sorting order, but this is divine intervention. Your rating was 37, highest for the top of the funnel, which was first. Your rating was 30% for virtual selling, which is the second. And interestingly, my order is also like that. Amandeep, I don't know how it happened. This is divine intervention. Huh? Okay. So these are the two questions. We received: how to leverage virtual connect platforms for sales and marketing, and what are do's and don'ts of virtual selling. So what I've done is that 10 tools and techniques for virtual selling. So tools and engagement techniques. Please pay close attention here. So tools, LinkedIn. So currently, as you say, most of the people are available on LinkedIn. If you start connecting with people on LinkedIn, with a service mindset. Service mindset means, connection, not that I have this software, can you buy it, or that kind of message will not work. Use LinkedIn for connection. Correct? Connection. Find some common items between you and that person. Correct? I know this is a change of habit, but if you use this, several people as a head of sales reach out to me for selling CRM or so many sales automation tools. One kind of people is they will send the first email, you buy this. The other is they will connect me with me, either they will engage with me on my LinkedIn post or something or the other. Correct? So therefore, that connection on LinkedIn is very important. The second is videos. This is again very, very important. Use tools like Vidyard and Loom. You can record a video in 30 seconds and they are free also. Correct? And you can track what you have sent, you can track. This is very powerful. The third is document tracking or email tracking. Email tracking we all are aware of. Document tracking is if suppose you have sent a content, let's say you have sent a case study or you have sent a proposal, anything, if you send using these kind of tools, and if you send it to me, let's say I am your buyer, if I open it, you will come to know. Okay, assume that that document has 10 pages. Which page I have seen, how much time I have spent, that you will also come to know. So these are the some of the tools. We can list many, but I have picked the top 3: LinkedIn, video, and document tracking. Correct? Now let's come to the engagement piece. In engagement piece, first is polls and questions. So you are seeing here also we have done one poll and I am using questions. I am asking you questions and you are replying them. So this is a very important engagement technique in all forms, especially in the remote model, because you can't see people's face. The second is annotations. What is an annotation? This is an example of annotation. Correct? I can use the GoToWebinar capability also of annotation. What I have done is I have already used a checkbox. What annotation does it? It focuses attention on that particular item. Mouse cursor is also can be used for annotation. What is contrast? Do you see this? This is light, this is dark. Contrast is a major human factor. We all like contrast, black and white, rich and poor, whatever, warm and cold. So in visual presentations, when you are remote presentation, when you are doing, if suppose this was also dark, your attention will go both places. Correct? So if you use this contrast where this is one form, there are many other forms in which you can create contrast. Correct? So this is contrast. Chat window. So I have been asking you to please respond in the chat window. So that is another form of engagement in the timeline view. What is timeline view? Do you see 2 here? So I told you there are 5 types of questions which we got, and I am showing you the second. You will notice second, third, fourth, fifth. This actually shows the listener that you are following a particular order, and also engages them. Okay, the third, fourth, fifth is coming. Now video and picture. So based on the bandwidth, either you can use video, because especially in the beginning and end of the session, or if you can't use video because of the bandwidth, then use picture. For example, in the beginning of the presentation, you notice that when Amandeep was introducing me, we used the picture. Correct? So that is because you can't meet people, so either use video or picture for engagement. And ABM, it is account based marketing. Correct? This is a skill. Identify, rather than segments, identify, let's say, top 5 accounts which you want to engage. Correct? For each of the account, create okay, what is the one thing I can help them with? If you focus in that way, then you will be able to engage deeply. So these are the 10 things, 10 tools and techniques which you use for virtual selling. Correct? If you have any questions, you can is there anything right now which you want to ask me which is not clear? Of course, you can post your question and we can take it afterwards also. But is there anything which you want me to clarify right now among this, which is not clear, or you need more information?
So they're asking if you could shed some light on what is annotation exactly, and some more information on how does contrast help.
Okay. So you see this? Can you guys see this? This is an example of live annotation. Don't look at the awful drawing which I have made, but look at the annotation. We can do it like this also. Yeah. So this is an example of annotation where we, and now I'm erasing the drawing so you can see. So this is the annotation piece. Is that clear?
Yes, Amit, it is.
Okay. And then in terms of contrast, see, contrast, as I was explaining, in presentation times, we have to present lot of times. What happens is a lot of content available. Let's look at this. Look at this. This is the slide. Now, if I would have presented this to you, your attention will go to all of them. So ideally, it has been proven that human mind can't appreciate more than 7 objects. This research has been done. But so one option is to only put 7 objects. Other option is, if you can't put 7 objects, correct, then use contrast, where you are, in this style of contrast is where you have made this light and you have made this dark, correct. This is also a style of contrast. When you see annotation, this also does contrast, because you are making this much more focused than other things. I hope it is clear now. Yeah. So I'll move to the next section, Amandeep. Yeah. This is, according to me, the most important section, which is question on developing sales skill. Most important. Since I am a one thing evangelist, you would have asked me later, but if you would ask me right now also, if I had to present only one thing, then it would be this section. And this is the question which got my attention. It is so true. This gentleman reached out both on LinkedIn, and I think he has submitted on the questions also. He said, I have read few sales books, listened to podcast. I have read implementing majority portion. I have tried implementing majority portion, but have failed to generate revenue for myself. He wrote a long note. I just captured it in a small. I could sense the pain. I think some of you would be sensing the pain yourself. So why does it happen? So this is the part. This is the part which is emotional quotient and intelligence quotient in sales. Emotional quotient in heart, intelligence quotient is mind. Until this is balanced, it will continue to happen, guaranteed. Correct. So now we spoke a lot of things about intelligence quotient, all these tools, all these things which we were talking, but what about emotional quotient? This is the main thing, which is not taught anywhere. So first question is, why both EQ and IQ are needed for excellence? Can you type quickly? Why EQ and IQ are needed? Both are needed. Can you type in your chat messages quickly? Why do you think? Of course, I will tell in a minute. I would appreciate if you just type. Yeah. Amandeep, let me know. Yeah.
Yes. So the reply that we have got is, it is basically required for connection. Also, it is required for to connect emotionally with the buyer.
Yes.
Again, it's on connection.
Yes.
And to influence the buyer decision. This is the overall reply that we've got.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate you guys participating. Thank you very much. So let me give you again, this is the metaphor. So let's say you are going to somebody's house, correct? And you go to a house and you see like this, what a beautiful house, wonderful. That is the IQ, the external piece, correct? Then you go inside the house and you say, wow, what a wonderful sofa, so clean, wonderful kitchen. That is the EQ. Now imagine the situation if it was not the case. You had a beautiful house and very dirty inside, correct? Or you had a shabby house looking outside, and you went inside, it looked very nice inside. Doesn't work. You will not feel welcomed, correct? So therefore, in similar case, unless both IQ and EQ are done, it will not work. You will keep reading books and all of that, it will not work. So now we have understood it. Now the question is how to do this. So what I have done is, this is Mount Everest of needs. It was featured on chapter 2 of the book, The Ultimate Sales Accelerator. This framework can be used for anything in life or in business. We are currently using it for emotional quotient in sales. So very simply put, it divides human needs into two categories: service needs, unserviced needs. Right? Within service needs, it says known needs that are met, something which is met. Unserviced needs, three categories: known needs, not met; known needs, resistance to change; unknown needs, which we ourselves don't know. So what I have done is that I have used this framework for emotional quotient. Correct? So is this framework structure clear, or you want me to give you an example before I go to EQ? If you want me to give you the example for this structure before I go to EQ, type yes. If you are, if this is okay and I can move on with the example of EQ, type no.
Amit, they have requested for examples on this.
Okay. ठीक है. So let me take examples. So no needs that are met. Correct? No needs that are met. I have a car. This is live example. Transportation need. I can move. Correct? Years before, 100 years before, that was not a known need. So that is my known need. It is met. Correct? Known needs. Correct? Known needs not met. For me, one of my known needs is when I used to travel. Right now, from last 1 month, I have not traveled. But when I used to travel, my known need is that I like homemade food. But when I travel in 23 countries, I don't get homemade food. So what do? That's a known need, is not met. So when I'm traveling in India and Mumbai, I find serviced apartments is still possible in India, not possible everywhere else. Correct? I have to look for Sarvana Bhavan. Correct? Some of people laugh at me, my colleagues, that you are in New York and eating in Sarvana Bhavan. But that's it. But the point is, this is a known needs where very few choices are available, not met yet completely. Known needs with resistance to change. Very simple. 5 a.m. club. Everybody knows that waking up at 5 a.m. is very nice. Correct? Brahm Muhurat. Everybody knows. How many people wake up at 5 a.m. club? Mr. Robin Sharma has written a book also, 5 a.m. club. So this is a known need. Resistance to change. Correct? Unknown needs. So example of unknown need. Let's say around 7 years before, my friend came from US to Bangalore, and he gifted me Apple TV. 7-8 years before 2012-13, I had not heard of Apple TV. I said, what is this? He said, you have iPad? I said, yes. He said, connect your iPad with this. And myself and my kids were very small that time, I think 5-6 years old. And they connected and they said, now cast it. What is the meaning of cast? He said, do it. So whatever he pressed, and then suddenly from iPad, the screen on my Samsung TV, 40-inch TV, suddenly whatever I could see, and all my wife and my two kids and myself, our mouths were opened. What is happening? So that is an unknown need. It might be known need in US because in 2012-13 it was released. In India it was not released. It's unknown need. So that is an example of unknown need. I hope it is clear now. With that, I will move to the example of emotional quotient. This is the
Amit.
Yeah, go ahead.
There was one more query. If we can have some examples related to software, like you gave an example for the service apartments. Can you give an example for software? How this happens in software and B2B sales?
Yeah. So if we take an example of, let's say, marketing automation. Let's say if we say that, okay, the marketer, what marketer wants is that marketers want all the channels, which is email, SMS, website, chatbot, and all the data sources, which are CRM, loyalty system, all of them to be connected. Everybody knows that. Which marketer doesn't know that? But is it met? Show me one marketer where it is met. Omni-channel marketing, all of that. Everybody is selling that because it is not met. It's a known need, not met. No need to resistance to change. In case of B2B sales marketing, let's say, in marketing, there is an organization called analytics, there is an organization called digital marketing, and there is an organization called email SMS automation, which is campaign management. Now, what is happening is, in most of the organization, these three organizations report to three different people, all those serving the same purpose, which is customer experience. So organization know that the right way of doing this is to have one org structure, correct? Or if you have to do spends, if I go to meet the digital marketing person, he will say, talk to me only about paid spends. If I go to the campaign management, he will say, talk to me about owned spends, but actually you need to be talking about both owned and paid spends together. Why it is not happening? Org structure nuances, KRAs are not aligned, correct? So that's the example of this. Unknown needs in marketing automation could be that customers are engaging on various channels, let's say email, website, app, so many channels, SMS. Now, Amandeep, if it is okay to share, what is your preferred channel of communication as a customer? What is your preferred channel of communication? Like mine is SMS.
Maybe on chat.
Yours is chat. Mine is SMS.
Yes.
Somebody else's might
Yes.
be mobile app. Somebody else's might be website. But what is happening? All of us, when marketers are creating campaigns, they create campaigns where all of us will receive similar experiences. Although our channel affinity is different. So if I receive my first message on SMS, you receive your first message on chat, and somebody else receives on website based on his or her preference, that is something which is called channel orchestration. It is not yet known very well, and the reason could be people are solving these problems. So I hope you are clear on the this is actually, as I said, this is a 3-day webinar seminar, correct, and more than that. So I hope in the less time we are able to at least give you an idea of this structure, because I always say structure is more important than the detail. If you understand the structure, then you will be able to craft anything, correct? So now can I move to the EQ part, Amandeep, and the team on the call? Please type yes or no if you need more clarification. Yeah.
Yes, we can move ahead.
Okay, so known needs that are met. What is emotional quotient? Now picture yourself, your emotional quotient. So job and colleagues, you have a job and you have colleagues. That is the need which is met, correct? The second one, known needs perhaps not met. Your role, you might be in inside sales and wanting sales. You might be in sales wanting customer success. You might be doing one part customer success, whereas you feel I am eligible for all three, which is demand generation, inside sales and customer success. Role is always this. You may say, so this security, in the current context, security may come into mind, that, I am not secure. That might come. Praise, I am referring to external praise, known lot of times, in sales context, I have seen people feel lack of praise, whether their supervisor, whether their team, they feel that it is very transactional. When deal is closed, everybody claps. In between, nobody pays attention or gives that much praise. So you may be feeling some of them. And then no needs for resistance to change, the most important word currently, the empathy, patience, meditation, embracing uncomfort, self-praise. So these are, empathy. We all know what is empathy, compassion. Buddha, and all the masters have been talking about from ages. Compassion. Right? Empathy is a word which has got attention now. Patience, which is in Hindi or Sai Baba's famous word, Shraddha and Sabri. Sabri. This is a virtue in sales. Virtue. Whenever I look at people who are following like anything, in any circumstances, I just pray that, maybe Sai Baba's words, Shraddha and Sabri. Shraddha and Sabri. It's a virtue. Meditation. Everybody knows. How many of us, if we start doing it, what will happen? In fact, this is the one thing. If we start doing meditation, a lot of other things will be addressed. In my personal example, I did, while I've been meditating for many years, in 2018 September, I went for Vipassana meditation. If you have heard of Vipassana is around 12 days, 10 full days, around 120 hours of meditation. That only thing you do is meditate. You don't have phone, you don't have anything, you don't have any identity. You only meditate, correct? And you are in silence for around 10.5 to 12 days. And that is the point which brings to embracing uncomfort. A lot of us are feeling uncomfortable right now because we are not very strong in this area. So I gave you an example of Vipassana. The reason I did it, because it was less because of meditation. I thought it is a mind training. I thought, how can people be silent for 10 days? I have to do it. I have to do it. It is very uncomfortable. I think there can't be more uncomfortable thing than being silent for 10, 12 days. So of course, if you can't do that, pick up one area which you don't like. If you don't like a virtual presentation, do it. If you don't like waking up at 5 a.m., do it. Anything which is uncomfortable, because mind gets habitual. When you do uncomfortable things, the other uncomfortable things become comfortable. Become comfortable. This self-praise is that why are we so reliant on other people praising? Because we have lack in ourselves. Correct. Easiest form is self-praise. Correct. If we start saying whatever you believe in yourself, when you look at your qualities rather than your negatives or development areas, why are we focusing on our weaknesses? Focus on your strength. Suppose you are an excellent presenter, you can say, I am an excellent presenter, I am excellent. That is also called affirmation. Correct. Suppose you are very good in creating narratives, you can say, I create excellent narratives. Wow, I am so happy that I am of service in this area. So if you do self-praise, is very fulfilling, I'm telling you. And then this one, the unknown needs, which is, what is the larger cause for which you are in sales? What is the larger cause which you are in sales? For me, larger cause is social entrepreneurship. I think sales is the best form of social entrepreneurship. Why? Because for sales is helping people get livelihood. Right now, companies are not able to get revenue. If they are getting revenue, they are able to pay people. Correct. I told one team, when I was talking to them, what is the impact of your work? They were silent, and I had to remind them. I said in Hindi, I will repeat in English also. I said, आपके काम के कारण 180 घर के चूल्हों में रोटी बनती है. Bread gets cooked in 180 household because of your work. That's the larger cause for me. That doesn't mean that it is for you. What is the larger cause for you which you are in sales? Gratitude. Gratitude is a virtue. Now you can have a gratitude for sales also. Imagine for a moment, just a moment, I'll pause. For a moment, think about a deal which you are grateful for. I'll pause. Think about a deal which you are grateful for. I'm sure. Type yes or no if you were able to think about a deal. If you were, say yes. If you were not able to, no problem. You can try again. Type yes or no. So you understand, similarly, visualization. You can visualize the deals. You can visualize the purchase order. You can visualize that people are clapping for you. Whatever, comes, you can visualize that part. Self-talk. How are you talking to yourself? Are you talking in positive language? Are you talking in negative language? So, and among all, one is my favorite, service mindset. Unless we have service mindset, why there is so negative perception about sales? People don't even use the word sales. If we use this word, service mindset, how can I serve you? How can I help you? Then, the emotional quotient of sales will come. So if you have to pick one EQ area among all of this, one area, which one would you pick? Please type it for Amandeep and she will tell me. Just pick one area. You can pick one area, please.
So we have started receiving the inputs. We'll wait for another 10 seconds.
Yes. Yeah, you can keep talking, Amandeep. People will be writing it. That's okay. You can keep talking. What are we receiving? One area.
So we have received, yes. So maximum, the inputs that we have received have come for resistance to change.
Yeah.
Followed by known needs and then followed by storytelling.
Yeah, excellent. Actually, my point was to choose one area among this. These are areas broader. And my point is pick one of them. Or so somebody has mentioned storytelling. Please type again. Pick one area among them. When we write, when we participate, it goes in. Please choose one area among them. One is enough.
We have got embracing uncomfort.
So I'm so glad to hear that. This is a very powerful thing, folks. I'm telling you, if you embrace uncomfort, things like COVID-19 will not bother you at all. You will see difficult situation is an opportunity for brilliance. This is the thing, embracing uncomfort. And it starts with doing small uncomfortable things. It's very, very small. Don't think about something big. Do something which you don't like. You don't like eating something, eat it. It'll change your whole pattern. Okay, Amandeep, I'll move on. So we are in the fourth area, which is questions on empathy. And the question was empathetic, and so answer is very simple: practice EQ, which we have discussed. As I said, that was the most important section according to me. Practice EQ, EQ, EQ. We are abundance magnets. Salespeople are abundance magnets. Imagine a magnet which looks very nice but doesn't have any power. Size of the magnet is IQ. The power of the magnet is EQ. EQ, EQ. Questions on closure. This was the question which I got. Please read it. Then I will. Okay. So now, Amandeep, time for this sales productivity poll. Please launch it.
Yes, sure. So the next poll is being launched. It will be visible on your screen for next 30 seconds. So to improve my sales productivity, I will first follow the 20-80 rule. Second, decrease internal meetings. Third, use new age sales automation tools. Last 5 seconds. And here we close the polls. So the results are 57% think that new age sales automation tools can help.
Okay.
Followed by 34% for the 20-80 rule.
Okay.
And 9% for decreasing the internal meetings.
Excellent. Thanks, thanks, Amandeep. Okay, so let me tell you my area things. I mean, all of those things are very important. 3 areas that can help in closure. The first is practice EQ, and this is we'll talk about this. The second is new ABC of sale, and third is focus on less, which you guys have voted around 34%. Correct? So let's take them one by one. Practice EQ. So 3S required for sales in current times is Shraddha, Sabri, Sadhana. Shraddha is faith. Faith. We need to have faith. This will close. We need to have faith. Everything is fine. This will close. If that is a part of EQ, having faith. If we are talking always, I am not getting meetings. I am not. This deal is stuck. This is not moving. Oh, COVID-19 has come now. I don't know what will happen. What are we doing? The self-talk is actually, eroding our faith. We need to have faith, correct? And it comes with what we are talking. Self-talk and faith are together. Sabri is patience. So if you have sent something to somebody, rather than immediately going, in your mind, it should come, I'll do after 2 days, 3 days, and soon it will become a habit. Soon it will become a habit. And this one is actually both EQ and IQ, which is sadhana, which is disciplined action. So we are having faith, we are having patience, no action. What will happen? Okay, the deal will come. Oh, I'm patient, it will come. And then I have not reached out to the customer. I have not shared anything of value. I have not talked about what can I do for payment terms, or what can I do for for the solution in this scope. Can I decrease the scope? There is no. So then, no, this will not come. If we even take the spiritual angle, God helps those who help themselves. Shraddha and Sabri is important. This is equally important, correct? So you get the concept of 3S, guys? Yes or no? You want me to explain more? If you have got it, just type yes. If you want me to explain more, I will.
So I think we have received maximum yes. So
Okay.
maybe you can move forward to the next one.
Okay, this is the second one, which is new ABC of sales. So there was a famous movie also earlier which talked about ABC of sales. Always be closing. Always be closing. There is so much pressure, man. What is the need? So this is from the book chapter 2, which says the ABC of sales is always be connecting, which is part of this sadhana. So these are terminologies, important words. If we use the word ABC, always be connecting, you keep on repeating ABC is always be connecting, automatically half of the work is done, because your feverishness or my feverishness towards closing will go away. They say, na, whatever you resist persist, correct? So this feverishness towards closing doesn't help at all. ABC, always be connecting. Shant Swabhav, very, 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 very calm and peaceful about this. And of course, as I said, mindfulness to me is the most important practice in EQ, for which we have to go for meditation or somewhere. If you are not able to go do at home, if you're not able to do that, then things like this, always be connecting, ABC, just using this language will help, correct? Do you see the difference between the previous ABC and the new ABC? If you want me to explain more, type yes. Type yes, or if you say this fine, just type fine. Because this is unusual. This is usual. This was usual. This is usual now.
So it looks fine.
Okay, thanks. So last part is that focus on less. Which you guys have given a rating of 2080 rule, which is 34%, which is that whatever you are closing, to focus on. You can ask this question: what are the 20% items? Okay, ask this: what are the 10 items I have to do to close this? Then Pareto principle, apply 20%. Okay, among these 10 items, which are the 20%, which is the 2 items I have to do? And then apply the one thing principle, which is that among whatever is left, which is 2, if I have to choose only one, which one would I choose? Focus on less, folks. When you focus on less, more happens. Correct. This is not only on closure. I have mentioned on closure. You can apply it in demand generation also. That why are we focusing on so many leads? Focus on specific set of accounts which can get you the meeting. I have put it especially on closure because closure is of great importance in all times, especially now. So in such cases, if we can ask, okay, if I have to help my client only in one area which will serve them the most in current times, what can I help them with? Focus on less. Is the less part Pareto principle one thing clear, folks? Please type Y or N. Please type Y or N.
Yes. We have received the inputs and the maximum are Y.
Okay, excellent. So now, see, this is the summary. We have discussed these 5 categories, which I mentioned to you, correct? While all of them are important, if you have to pick one category right now, you voted it before the session. If you have to pick one category which you feel would be of most value to you right now, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which one? Just type that number, please. Just type that number now.
The maximum inputs are for 2 and 3.
Excellent. Thank you. Okay, so resources, you can copy paste the resources thing, Amandeep, in the chat window which I shared with you. Could you please copy in the chat window for all of them?
Yes, I'll do that right away.
Please do that. So I'm speaking while you put it in the chat window. So some of the resources is we can connect on the LinkedIn, please. This is my LinkedIn URL. You can also look at the book, The Ultimate Sales Accelerator. A lot of concepts given here were from the book. You can also look at the resources section in the website salespreneur.co. Then you can look at these videos, Spirit of Sales. What does the word sales mean? Correct? And the whole concept of salespreneur. This YouTube channel is not live right now. I have made these videos available for you. So when you open this, you will see not many videos in the channel. You will see this video. So you can, for now, you can check these videos. Very soon, the channel will also be live. So Amandeep, you have posted on the chat window? Yes. Okay, excellent.
Yes.
Okay, excellent. So folks, now I'm open to any other questions you have before we end this session. We are Amandeep, if there are any other questions, I know
Yes, Amit, we have received some questions here.
Yeah.
So the first one is, how do we build a repository of metaphors that can be used in our interactions?
Yeah. So first thing is, for that, first of all, thanks for asking that question. So for repository of metaphors, what you do is, first is, please create all the objection handling scenarios. Correct? So scenario could be, let's say in SAS, one of the scenario could be people are saying, why do you charge for POC? Correct? So that could be a scenario. So whatever objection handling scenario you have, please list them in a Excel or wherever. Then for each scenario, either you divide them among your team, that, okay, each one take 2, 3, or you all together take and you say, okay, for each scenario, let us find a comparison symbol. Okay. So for, let's say, the first one, POC, one client said, I want to do POC and in 1 month, and I want to achieve all the results. So one of my team member, mentioned, Mr. Client, do you watch movies? Yes. Movies are 3 hours, correct? Said yes. But the trailer is how long? 2 minutes. He said, by watching a trailer of 2 minutes, you want to get the joy of the entire movie. Is it possible, sir? He said no. So therefore, so this is you can do it in a conversation mode, or you can use the word it's like. It's like gaining the movie benefit of entire movie by watching a trailer. Not possible. So put all the things together, correct, and then you will have to work with your team members, or you can do it yourself. Correct? Yes, Amandeep. What else?
So next question is, Amit, regarding LinkedIn, what we had discussed.
Yeah.
So the query is, how can we initiate the prospecting where we can ensure a client will reply to a query? Because what usually happens is, in India, still a lot of people are not open to responding on LinkedIn. How can this approach be better? And in spite of following up multiple times, what people have observed is eventually the connect goes cold. So how to ensure the discussion is still warm and we are very much, closer to closing the lead?
Sure. I think the short thing is EQ. Practice EQ. I'll also give a long answer. So what is the mean? Suppose you are connecting with me. Let me take my example. Suppose you are connecting with me, and many people are connecting with me to, especially, if they are sales people, they are connecting with me to sell sales software. Yeah, So let's say somebody reached out to me. What this post, you saw the 3S, Shraddha, Sabri, Sadhana. That is the post I had done on LinkedIn. Correct. So one lady from US, she, I had also written faith, and also she could understand. So she actually engaged on the post, then sent me a message on email saying that similar to 3S, there is something more. That is the subject line. And when I opened, she said, thanks for sharing that post on wonderful post on, how faith, patience, and perseverance or action, disciplined actions are important. I fully agree. And I have done the following. I have created a acronym for Manthan. So my company name is Manthan. She did M for something, A for something, N for something. Oh my God, I will not forget her name. Correct. She connected with me, not for selling. She connected with me. So first, in LinkedIn or social selling, social word is there, selling is later. You have to know the person, connect with them. So it takes time. It is not that you have sent the first message. It takes time. But once you connect with them, now what happens? Now they remember you. That is the beauty of social selling. I will not forget that the way she has written. And every time she reaches out to me, she has something insightful, something insightful. In one message she said, Amit, I understand current times are different, so if this is not the right time to discuss, I fully understand. However, if you think we could be of service, I would appreciate your 15 minutes. Very short messages first. Second, engagement on link before selling, before pitching your solution. Engage, correct? Write short messages, correct? And have patience, and always think, what can I help this person with? What can I help? Think not about your product, think about how the person can be helped. So if you do these 2 3 things now, engagement, then short messages. The thumb rule is not more than 3 lines on LinkedIn. If you do 2 3 things now, it will work. Yes, Samandeep, what else?
The next query here is regarding the 20/80 rule that we had discussed. So if it means focusing on the 20%, why we are thinking about losing the remaining 80% customers? Wouldn't they be the future consumer base?
No, actually, this is a if you have heard about the 20/80 rule, it started in Italy, where they say 20% of people owned 80% of land by a person called Pareto, and after that it has been scientifically proven, correct, that 20% of customers give 80% of revenue, 20% of salespeople do 80% of business, 20% of batsmen give 80% of runs. It is a divine law. It is, nobody calls it divine, but that is the reality. So it is proven left and right. The one thing takes it to a different level. One thing says, keep applying Pareto principle till you get the one thing, correct? So my suggestion is, you can do some more research on Pareto principle on the Google. Fundamentally, it has been proven. Then when you focus on less, because when you are focusing on, you have 100 items to do. If you do 100 items, you will achieve 100, and maybe you will lose a lot of things. If you focus only on 20 items, guarantee is there, or higher probability is there that you will get 80. So focus on 20 now. Your bandwidth is getting much more optimized. The same thing happens in sales or in life. Yes, Amandeep. Let me know, because I'm available, Amandeep. Let me know.
Yeah. So the next set of queries are related to cold calling.
Yeah.
Firstly, how to engage or excite the customer in the right manner during the cold calls, during especially focusing on the first call with the customer in these uncertain times, and how can we ensure that the call is productive and it leads us close to prospecting and closing the lead.
Yeah, I think personally, the word cold calling was not even there earlier. It is wrongly used. There is something called warm engagement. The word calling, first of all, cold has to be replaced to warm, and the word calling has to be replaced by engagement, correct? So when you folks voted use of new age tools as 57%, that means cold calling, the calling doesn't come. It is not a new age tool. It is not a new age tool. So I would request you to replace the cold calling with warm engagement. And we spoke about how to engage in warm. One is, use mediums like social selling, where your buyers are available on LinkedIn, where we said connect with them on LinkedIn before pitching your solution, correct? Connect with them. Spend, initially it might be difficult to fix a time. Maybe it is half an hour daily. Develop it as a habit that I will be on LinkedIn 1 hour or 30 minutes daily. I have, let's say, 20 buyers whom I will engage, not send them a thing to buy my software. I will engage with them. And once you connect with them, see, the simple mantra for this is, people like people who are similar to them, who have common interest. Yes or no? It's a common thing. People like people who are similar to them. So when you reach out to somebody, if somebody has posted something, you engage with them, the similarity is established. Suppose somebody has written an interview or written a blog, and you write to them, I have read your blog and I like these items very much. Thank you for sharing. And you have no action item. See, that is a problem which a lot of salespeople do. Every time they appreciate, or they will put an action item, call to action. That is not the thing, man. First, develop rapport with people. Rapport is sales nirvana. When you do sales rapport, it's like dating. When you are dating, every time you aim for action, nothing will happen. Correct? You have to first develop rapport. So similarly in sales, this cold calling, getting the meeting, this is not the problem with only this is the wrong culture which has been established. Correct? So that is the reason I would suggest exercise this thing that warm engagement, where knowing people better is more important than saying, okay, can you give me the meeting? So if we exercise that and give patience, I can guarantee you it will happen. It will happen. I gave that example of that lady. Now I am thinking, shall I connect my marketing team with her? Because what she is selling is not in sales. Correct? So you see, I mean, she has patiently connected with me for 2 weeks. Correct? So I will certainly do something. Correct? Yeah. Yes.
And the follow-up question here is, sometimes it happens that the customer or the prospect that you're talking to gets arrogant on the call.
Yeah.
And how do we avoid that?
Yeah, so I think this the arrogance piece can be done in following ways. First is, if somebody is arrogant, exercise empathy towards that person. You can say directly, there are two things we can do: empathy, or we can be aggressive. Right? So the word empathy is, typically it is believed, that when somebody is angry, it's a very, very interesting thought. Somebody is angry, that person is a hurt person. It's quite, if you look at it, when somebody is angry, internally, that's the reason I've been saying EQ. If I was given a choice, I would say entire LinkedIn community has to do Vipassana. Correct? Because that's the easiest way to build EQ, or mindfulness should be practiced in an entire organization. Correct? So if somebody is aggressive on the phone, especially, if you have empathy in your mind, okay, this person is a hurt person. Correct? Hurt person. And with that thought in your mind, you say, I'm sorry, maybe I connected with you at a wrong time. I will connect with you later. Please have a wonderful day. If you just say that with having that thought in mind that this is a hurt person, then it will work. If you don't have that thought in mind, this is a hurt person, or this is, then you will have anger within you. Correct? So I would prefer it this way. And the other way is that you can, if you don't even have, let's say this is a hurt person, you say, okay, I'm in sales. That is the other attitude. I'm in sales. Sales is about perseverance. Correct? I might get 9 no's. I have to look for that one yes. Correct? I have to look for that one yes. One yes. Correct? So it becomes a mindset that embracing discomfort. Correct? Somebody is aggressive to you. You said, maybe I caught up with you at the wrong time. We'll connect later. Thank you very much. So you see the tone is different. In either way, you are resourceful. In one side, you are resourceful because of empathy. In the other way, you are resourceful because you are in sales and you are embracing discomfort. Correct?
That's right. And Amit, one more thing that we hear frequently on the call is that regarding the competition, that why you? Apart from highlighting the product features, when the question comes, why I should go with you, becomes a difficult question to answer, specifically at this uncertain time. So how to handle that?
When you are saying why you, is it the company or is the person? I'm assuming it's
the company.
It's the company. So basically, first of all, if we are not clear, see, there are two things. Unique selling point, which is of past. In the book, my book, The Ultimate Sales Accelerator, I have mentioned that unique selling point is the past. Right now, the word is UBP, unique buying point. It is buyer's market. It is not seller's market. Correct? We have to be thinking about what is the unique buying point. Correct? So if you are selling whatever software, whether it is CRM, whether it is engagement software, whether it is marketing software, whether it is analytics software, if you are able to clear, okay, what is the one problem I solve for my customer which is better than others? What are the 3 problems which I solve for my customers which I solve better than others? If your company is not helping you answer this question, you have a problem. Either choose 1 or 3, not more than that. what is the one problem I or my company solve for my customers, and we solve it better than others, or only we solve, or replace 1 by 3. If you do not have answer to this, or you do not understand this, then you will not be able to answer. So it is not about unique selling point that I do this. It is about what buyers problems you are solving, and how are you solving them in a better way than others, or you are the only person who is solving. That is the, and therefore lot of knowledge from product area or whatever you are offering needs to be there, for which, rather than having a very big cheat sheet, if you have 1 or 3, your discussions will become very simple. You will talk to the customer only on that one area or those 3 areas. Yeah,
It was insightful, Amit. Regarding prospecting,
yes.
in the time when we all are on work from home, how do we identify a prospect virtually?
So see, for that I mentioned in my in the lead generation partner. I think I will have to go really back. Let me show it to you. Yeah, see, if you look at this, you see this LinkedIn. So if on LinkedIn, if you have Sales Navigator or some similar tools, you are able to filter everything and identify buyers for your area. Suppose you are selling CRM to, let's say, IT companies, you can do that. We are selling, suppose you are selling analytics to analytics heads of retail, you can do filter of that. So LinkedIn is the world's biggest customer data platform. If you use that for identifying your customer profile, it will help. And then you can also identify who are engaging. So suppose you identified, let's say, 100 of your prospects. Now what you can do, you can save them on LinkedIn as leads. So if they are engaging on LinkedIn, or if there is any message coming, you will get them as a notifier. Correct? You will get that, so you will be notified. You will also know how many of them are digital savvy, how many of them have posted on LinkedIn. You will also know how many of them have changed jobs in last 3 months. Anybody who has changed jobs recent times in last 3 months, they are change agents. They are prone to help you, or prone to take newer decisions. Correct? So use LinkedIn for prospecting and building customer data. I'll go to the, yes, 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 Amandeep.
So, Amit, the next query is regarding sometimes not knowing the local language becomes a barrier for engaging with people. So, is there any technique to overcome that?
See, again, when you say local language, if it is physical sales, the best form is partnerships. So like we sell in Thailand, we sell in Indonesia. So what we do is we take partners along with us. In fact, I was in a presentation in Thailand, where the entire 40 minutes, our product was pitched 40 minutes by the partner. I couldn't understand anything other than the slides which were there. So, because that is the need of the hour. So partners is certainly one thing in B2B sales, which has helped a lot, which at least in my experience. Yeah.
We had also a discussion, Amit, regarding empathy, and usually salespeople are supposed to be aggressive. So the suggestions of Vipassana and meditation, isn't it opposing to this fundamental notion that salespeople are supposed to be aggressive?
Who said that supposed to be aggressive? So that is what I'm saying. A lot of things. The word is assertive, not aggressive. And there is a word called middle path. Middle path. So therefore, remember the balance thing, EQ and IQ. Right? This picture. Just a minute. You see this? This is the balance. This is the middle path. Okay? So when you are aggressive in short term, you might be able to close something, but in long term it will not work. People will dislike you sooner or later. Deals will not close. It is guaranteed. People say in sales relationship is there. Correct? So relationship is not there, then emotional aspects come along with relationship. Correct? So I think this piece, I understand a lot of people have told that sales means aggression, sales means aggression. I believe the better word is assertiveness, where we are developing that quality. And assertiveness doesn't come only with IQ. Assertiveness comes with this, with this. And if all of these things becomes overwhelming, you can pick one. In my case, I said that when I did Vipassana, lot of other things automatically happened. In your case, it could be something else. You can pick that. And the power of one thing is, again, remember 20-80 rule. If you focus on few things, then it will work. If you focus on a lot of things, it will not work. So for me, rather than aggressive, the word assertive. See, I'll give you a one-liner. Again, an experience, correct? Because experience is the truth. So I was interviewing a person around, I think 5-6 years before, and in the phone, he said, मैंने कहा कैसे हैं आप, क्या चल रहा है, how are you doing? तो उसने कहा सर, he spoke in Hindi. उसने कहा सर बढ़िया है, अभी 12 करोड़ के काट के आ रहा हूँ. I'll repeat again. अभी 12 करोड़ का काट के आ रहा हूँ. That means I've just cut a check. I've just signed a deal worth 12 crore. It looks quite posh in English. It looks, I mean, whatever you can use the word in Hindi, correct? 12 करोड़ के काट के आ रहा हूँ. So the moment I heard that, I said, बस हो गया. I mean, इससे तो मैं बात नहीं कर सकता, correct? So that kind of thing doesn't work anymore. That is the reason, and COVID-19 and all these times are a reminder to all of us that, especially in all forms of life and sales, it is time to change. Yeah.
So Amit, if you have to summarize, what could be the top 3 deviations from the normal sales approach that could be required for any salesperson to adapt in this volatile world where in the current time uncertainty is very dominant? Or is it like generating revenue should be the secondary priority at this moment?
I think for me, as I said, the word ABC, always be connecting. ABCC, the revenue is dependent on closures, correct? This is the revenue is dependent on closures, correct, Amandeep? I can't hear others, so I have to speak to you. So revenue means closures, correct?
Yes.
So the closure is these 3 things. Practice EQ, which is 3S, which is Shraddha, Sabri, Sadhana, this is not easy. I mean, if you start believing in this, repeating this, I've been using this word Shraddha, Sabri of Sai Baba from times. It has made me a better person. It understands my team also, my boss, everybody understands that. They can't come to me directly, aaj close kar do. They know that disciplined action is happening. I have told all my bosses, everybody, I can only promise you one thing, which is the sadhana part, which is disciplined action. If anybody can promise you guarantee of the deal, hire that person. It is not possible. That person is God. Correct? What we can, even in Gita it is written. That is the problem, na? We have written our scriptures or good things forgotten. लिखा है ना कि कर्म पे फोकस करो, फल पे फोकस मत करो. पर तो सिर्फ academic ज्ञान हो गया ना, उसको तो करते ही नहीं है. So my thing is that whatever is academic, make it an experience. So I am very clear. I can only promise you action, which is sadhana. And with that, these 2 virtues, these 3, actually, in my experience of enterprise sales, correct? They have worked wonders, correct? And the second is ABC of sales. So have that service mindset. What can I do for this person? इसके लिए मैं क्या कर सकता हूँ? आप अपना प्रेशर में रहेंगे. सोचो अभी क्या हालत है. We know some of your customers, we are able to work. Some of people, their stores are not opening. I mean, they can't even work. Correct? That empathy has to come in that scenario. If I say, boss, get my deal, it will not happen. You will lose the deal forever. Correct? And the third is focus on less things. The less you focus, the better it will be. So my revenue is equal to closure. My suggestion of closure is these 3 things. Yeah. Yes, Amandeep?
So our last question is not exactly related to sales, but it is somewhere related to marketing, but it has been requested multiple times. So I am choosing this question for the session.
Is it the last question?
Yes, this is the last question.
Okay.
The query: what is the best way to do marketing at this time with less burning of cash?
What is the best way to do marketing at this time with less burning of cash. So see, I fundamentally believe, that and your question is brilliant. Why it is brilliant? Because the second part, you said, the person or the set of people who asked this, what is the best form of marketing without burning cash? The second part is more important, Amandeep, if you listen, if you focus on that. So in this case, I have always believed that in enterprise B2B sales, the best form of marketing is the salesperson. Salesperson is the brand of the company, correct? So I've always believed that how I interact, how my team interacts in enterprise B2B sales, which is high ticket, of course, if you come to mid segment and all, then digital marketing, all of these things come into picture, inbound and all. But you just mentioned that you don't want to spend money, correct, on that. So in that case, right now, all of us are anyhow working from home. In that case, remember we talked about virtual selling. So if we connect on marketing, if you use social media, social selling as a mechanism for connection, for marketing, it could be one-to-many organic posts, very relevant. Suppose you are selling CRM, and you are selling CRM to different industries. If you create different propositions for different industry and you post that, correct? You can also create those as campaigns, either email campaigns, or you can do a LinkedIn campaigns which are using your connections, which are not paid, correct? So the key thing is, and that's what we are also doing. I mean, paid campaigns are currently, not in vogue currently. Okay? So what we are doing is we are crafting very pointed proposition, either at an account level or at a segment level. So account level could be one particular account which you are selling, correct? The segment level could be, let's say, a segment called food and grocery. It could be fashion. It could be technology, correct? So let's say the word is personalization, folks. The more the message you personalize for your audience, correct? And the channels for that is currently LinkedIn, email, which are non-paid channels, correct? So you can post on LinkedIn, you can do one-to-one message on LinkedIn. If you have in-mails which are based on your sales navigator, you can send in-mails one-to-one. Remember, the message has to be very short, not more than 3 lines, correct? And also the drift has to be service mindset. And the most service mindset main thing is no action. Don't ask for a meeting. So the drift has to be, here is something I found, because you are in grocery, because you are in technology, could be of service to you, could be of help to you. Just leave it at that. Or read a blog of a person. Say, I read this for you. I saw this video. What a wonderful insight you shared. Thank you very much. I learned something. So connect with people on those. That is the most powerful form of marketing, according to me currently.
Yes, Amit, that was a lot of insights for a good food of thought. And I hope everyone in the audience had an informative and an insightful session today. If there was any...
Amandeep,
yes, Amit?
I'll just mention my wish, then you can please end the session. So my wish for you, I am grateful that you guys took time, in this time and to attend this session. I hope I was of service to you. Thanks to NASSCOM also for setting this up. They are doing a phenomenal job in sharing these best practices across the community. So my wish for you is the following: may you harness the true spirit of sales, which according to me, S for serve, A for authenticity, L for love, E for expertise, and S for smile. Serve with authenticity, love, expertise, and smile. May you harness the true spirit of sales and be legendary salespreneur. Thank you. Amandeep.
Thank you so much, Amit. Yes, and to the audience, if you had any queries which we couldn't take during the session or because of the constraint of time, please feel free to post them at pune@nasscom.in and the team will get in touch with you. And we hope that you will connect with us for the future sessions. So do check it out on our LinkedIn page and on the NASSCOM official website. Thank you everyone for your time.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you.